What's up, YouTubers and gamers? This is Average Gamer Plays. Today we're going to be taking a look back at the first week in review of Destiny 2 Season of the Chosen, as well as what we can expect for the week ahead. Last week was semi-normal, but many of us were out for the holiday weekend or had Valentine's Day plans. And I assume that you and your significant other don't celebrate your love for each other by getting down on video games. Although if you do, major props to that, and maybe hit up my fiance with some reasons why our relationship would benefit from some 1v1ing. Week 1 introduced us to the Battlegrounds, a few new loot mechanics with the helm, the war table, and the prismatic recaster, and a good deal of loot. We kicked it off with some sweet intro videos, nothing particularly earth-shattering, but it's always a good feeling to get some fresh cinematics in a beloved game. I have really enjoyed digging into the new Battlegrounds game mode, except of course for the one time I didn't play Battlegrounds through the Vanguard playlist, but instead went direct to it on Europa and found out you don't get shit for loot at the end of the game. So, pro tip, only do Battlegrounds through the playlist menu. One of the things I've really enjoyed about Battlegrounds, and this was widely speculated leading up to the season, is how fun and effective Skyburner's Oath is. I mean, Skyburner's was never anything other than an exotic block to check for me, but in this sandbox and game mode, it is extremely viable and tons of fun. The seasonal mod for anti-barrier champions makes it useful against anti-barrier champions. The increased damage against Cabal is obviously relevant in Battlegrounds, which is all Cabal all the time. And is just great for ad clearing. Firing full auto, rapid fire, seeking slugs at a field of Cabal ads is... It's also just nice in general to have a completely useless exotic finally find a useful niche. Good work, Bungie. Pretty stoked to get that catalyst slapped on there, but right now I'm still sitting at only 20% completion. Before we move on from Battlegrounds though, I just gotta ask, did anyone not blow themselves up by standing too close to those generators the first time they played Battlegrounds? The helm is a welcome addition to the game. As far as the Destiny 2 story goes, I like how they're finally pulling together some underutilized characters like Lord Saladin. Pretty sure we've only ever seen him in Iron Banner and nowhere else in D2, and Amanda Holliday. The prismatic recaster is great, along with the Umbral engrams. I appreciate the rate at which these engrams drop. A couple seasons ago, they dropped so fast it was more annoying than anything else to receive one, and now the reduced rate feels more valuable and like you actually earn something, but thankfully Bungie didn't overtune things so it feels like they're super scarce. Again, nice job, Bungie. I'm going to be honest though, it took me like a solid week of gaming before I figured out why I wasn't progressing along the hammer enhancements at all. First, I didn't read any of the intro text we get at the new missions or mechanics. I'll read up on that and any lore I missed later. And it wasn't until Saturday that I actually looked at the war table screen, which shows that you earn enhancements by earning rank by completing seasonal challenges, which takes us to the seasonal challenges screen. I like it. It's nice to have a running measure of what you've accomplished. I'm going to call them side missions or side challenges each week, but I am curious how this will play out for us average folk. With holidays and time away from home last week, I was really grinding Monday night to wrap up the Mayhem super kills and Europa bounties. Not that either is particularly hard, but Mayhem isn't a game mode I would usually play. I don't really grab Europa bounties that often just because. I usually load into the tower and grab every bounty I can there because there are so many vendors in one place, and I do my Europa stuff way after the fact. I'm really interested to see how this week's challenges go. Logging in today, I can see I've already got 3 of them almost complete. Thanks Bungie again for allowing progress from the prior week to count, but I'm not going to be able to get a lot of playtime with out-of-town travel. I'm bringing my Xbox on the road, and I will try playing on the hotel Wi-Fi, but when I'm not doing army stuff, I'm going to be visiting friends and family, so who knows. The only real sticking point I can see is maybe the Drifter's Chosen challenge is just 250 looks like a high number depending on how points play out, but we'll see. One thing I am pretty confident about is that we won't be getting into Dead Man's Tale this week. I've seen a lot of content creators pick it up early today, and it doesn't look particularly challenging, but the quick guides I've seen on the quest mission remind me a lot of the Outbreak Perfected quest. And again, definitely not impossible, but it does involve a fair amount of in-game mechanics and buffs, and I just don't play with a regular fire team. So for me and maybe a fair share of other average gamers, this might be a mission best left for a few weeks from now when LFG is filled with experienced gamers that are replaying the mission for fun and can help guide you through it. One thing I am loving about this week is that the binary system weapon ornament for symmetry is back in Eververse for Bright Dust, so I am definitely grabbing that up. I mean, clean and sexy as hell. Over on the season pass, we're at rank 23, which isn't too shabby at all for seasonal progress. But in the next couple of weeks, we're picking up our second puppy. Mom's flying into town to go dress shopping with my fiance. We're going on a weekend camping trip, and we've got an engagement party to throw together. So who knows how much that's going to slow progress there. One last thing before diving back into the game tonight, I want to shout out the new seasonal SMG, Extraordinary Rendition. I've picked up the Sniper Far Future and a God Roll on the Code Duello, and I'm loving both, but man, this SMG slaps. My first drop about 5 minutes into the first Battlegrounds mission is the drop I'm still playing with. And even though I don't think it's considered God Roll, it is for me. Overflow Rampage with the Stability Masterwork is just a laser beam, and those sights are so freaking crisp, it's an honest-to-God pleasure to play with the gun. I know everything today has been super positive, but I mean, I'm enjoying my weapon rolls, I'm enjoying the loot drop rates and the chase, and I'm enjoying the new game mode. Bungie's done well kicking this season off. Great work. Thanks for stopping by and checking out the channel. Hope you're having as much fun as I am, and we look forward to seeing you again for our Week 2 review next week.